So depersonalization, if you don't remember my last video about my depersonalization, I have it. I've had it since I was 11. Technically, I have more derealization than depersonalization, but people don't really use the term derealization as much. But I'll put like websites down below so you can like check out, see the difference, etc., etc. And honestly, when I made that video, I was doing really well. And then shit kind of changed as it does with mental health. I kind of hit a downward spiral, and that's why I haven't been on YouTube or doing much of, I don't want to say putting myself out there, because I do a lot of acting for other people's things, but as far as me being me, genuine, I haven't done that in, I guess, around a year. I haven't like talked to a camera like it's my friend and been real and like up front. I'm always pretending to be someone else, and I think if you have depersonalization or derealization, that's almost easier to pretend to be someone else because you already kind of feel like you are. That might sound weird, but like if you have it, you understand. You kind of just feel like a poser and fake, and like nothing around you is real, and like you're like living a life out of like a VR set. That's how I feel. So I've had my ups and downs. So I guess about I want to say like a month after that video hit, I just kind of had a downward spiral, and I got really just out of my body again, and that's lasted for a while. I think the times that I feel least depersonalized is when I'm doing something. Like when I'm busy, when I know I have to do something. I most appreciated school, even though I hated it, and like a bunch of people, with a few exceptions at my school, were little B words, not naming names, but like even though I didn't enjoy school, I was glad to be there because at least I was doing something. And every time I'm on set for film, I'm so grateful because I'm doing something. A minute, my dog is eating some plastic. Easy. Depersonalization is almost like your brain out of boredom being like, let me F with you. At least that's my case. Like, I can be sitting on my couch doing nothing, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, tunnel vision, you're not real, nothing around you is real, Lindsay, like, look at how crazy the world is. I think politics, I hate to bring politics, like, online, but I think politics have fueled my depression, and my depression has fueled my depersonalization disorder. Just a lot of the things that are going on right now are super dark, and that has just made me, like, I guess not want to be here. So that's where my depression is. My depression is not wanting to be here in the world, and my depersonalization is like, hey boo, hey depression, my main B, like, I got this, don't worry. And it's kind of super annoying because like that's not how I want to handle it, but like my brain is like, screw you, Lindsay, like I don't care, like I'm gonna do what I want. So it's kind of messed with me, and like depersonalization, it's a coping mechanism. It's the fight or flight, and we're deciding to fly into our own minds and just huddle up, like when a turtle goes into its shell. Like, just skirt, I don't want to be here anymore. Triggers. Let's talk about triggers. So if you've ever experienced any mental health disorder, then you probably know the word triggers. It's basically when something causes you to have an anxiety attack or depression, or just like causes your brain to like freak out. it's funny, because a lot of my triggers kind of contradict themselves. I hate bright light, and yet I do a bunch of acting. Bright lights are on me. Bright light is on me right now, and I don't care. But like bright sunlight, that really screws with me. Wearing glasses or sunglasses, like, really triggers me for some reason. I think it's like, I feel like I'm watching through a screen. It's weird. Being alone definitely used to be a trigger for me. Like, if I had to walk somewhere by myself, or if I had to just, like, be alone, other than inside my house, that really used to, like, freak me out, but not so much anymore. I used to have really bad social anxiety, and that hasn't really, like, been a factor. Like, my triggers are kind of slowing down. I think, like, a big one is loud noises. I'm very claustrophobic. But I'm just trying to do the things that trigger me, because I don't want to live, like, locked away. I used to do that. I used to just not do anything that might scare me, and I regret that, because I missed a lot of opportunities, just because I was afraid that I would have an anxiety attack, and that my depersonalization would come back. I met some really lovely people who helped tremendously with this. I met a wonderful person who also experienced depersonalization, and for the first time when I talked to him, I was like, I'm not crazy, like, other people have this. And of course I knew that, but, like, I think there's a difference between reading about it online and your therapist telling you about it, and then interacting with someone who also has it. I think that was, like, a definite blessing for me, because it kind of put life into perspective. It put the whole "you are not alone" thing really in my mind, and I appreciate that so much. Yeah, I've had tremendous people in my life. Beautiful, beautiful people in this last year who have really kept me going and kept me inspired. That being said, there's been low points this past year. I had a really bad heartbreak I don't want to talk about, and that just, oh my god, it killed me. Like, just depression and depersonalization and derealization, and again, that, like, battle of the two and working together, it was really hard. Really hard to have to go to school when I was just, like, heartbroken, not feeling like I was there. People with depersonalization who go to high school, like, or college, or middle school, wherever, if you go to school, like, do you guys find it very difficult to focus? Because, like, I do. Like, if I'm trying to take notes and then all of a sudden my brain is like, Lindsay, you're not here, it's really hard for me. I want to talk about things that have helped me. So things that have helped me are being around people, being around loving people and supportive people. Meditation, like, I'll show you my meditation setup in a minute. It's beautiful. If you haven't listened to Tibetan singing bowls, anyone with depersonalization, I would highly recommend that, because, like, that's a godsend. Like, Tibetan singing bowls, just, like, amazing. I am still on clonazepam, Belbutrin, and sertraline, and my pills have finally kind of balanced out in the correct way, and I feel a little better with those pills, so I think that was great. I kind of hate modern medicine, but if it works, it works. Another thing is just doing my art. I've been filmmaking and acting and literally directing films and writing films and working with other creative people, and that terrifies me, but I still do it, because, like, if you're gonna let, like, this disease, which is what it is, stop you, from doing something, then like, what's the point? Like, if you can't do the things you love, like, what are you doing? Like, I think that was a big epiphany that happened to me. It was like, I want to be alive, I want to do stuff. I have this thing that's not letting me do stuff. Well, like, too bad. I'm not gonna let it control me. And there have been moments in this year that I definitely have, but I'm just trying to not let it control my life, because it did for such a long time. The reason I wanted to make this video today, like all days, is honestly I'm really sad. I'm really sad and kind of lonely and homesick for France and homesick for the friends that I had in France, and it's difficult. But I know that people with the depersonalization feel alone a lot of the time. I just wanted to say you're not alone. It's awful. Yeah, thank you so much everyone who supports me. You're all lovely. I know I'll get better. You guys will get better too. So I'm sending a lot of love and a lot of appreciation to everyone out there. Thanks.